Hello once again from EdForce. I would like to welcome you all to our today's EdTalk, Rise with SAP, Public and Private Cloud. Before we begin, I would like to tell you about EdTalks. EdTalks are powered by EdForce, a lineup of finest knowledgeable webinars. EdTalks are crafted and delivered by industry veterans the technical cravings of you and to equip you with emerging technologies and technical developments from around the globe. Today, for our ED Talk, we have renowned speaker, Mr. Ravi Surya, or Dr. Ravi Surya. Dr. Ravi Surya has already joined us. About our expert speaker today. Dr. Ravi Surya is a certified SAP S/4HANA Solution Architect and SAP Certified SAP S/4HANA Finance Professional. Dr. Ravi has been working on SAP, SAP Financial Accounting, Fund Management, Central Finance, Cash Management, etc. He has been working as a Senior Director for the SAP practice for a US-based company in Hyderabad. Dr. Ravi completed his master's degree in finance from Central University, Masters of Commerce from Osmania University, a Masters of Commerce from Andhra University, and a PhD in finance from one of the best universities in India. His research papers have been published in national and international magazines and journals. Dr. Ravi has been an author and technical reviewer of SAP S/4HANA books. He has been visiting instructors from SAP India Education and SAP Indonesia Education. Currently, he has been working on conversion and upgradation projects and also working on Rise with SAP transformation service projects for Rise with SAP, private cloud, and public cloud. He has been SAP Certified Application Associate, SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Implementation with SAP Active, and SAP Certified Application Associate, SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Finance Implementation. Welcome, Dr. Ravi Surya. Can you please unmute yourself?
Thank you, Ashutosh.
Welcome, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. So, let us today see about SAP S/4HANA Rise with SAP transition process. So, the objective of this session is to share the basic fundamentals about the Rise with SAP, private cloud and public cloud. We also see different transition paths for new implementation and conversions for Rise with SAP in case of public cloud and the private cloud. We also see at the end Q&A so that I will be able to answer your questions if any. So thanks for joining this call. I will start presenting. You all know SAP S/4HANA, the earlier component ECC. The earlier component was also well known to every one of us in form of Enterprise Central Component, SAP ECC. that helped many customers in streamlining the business functions in all lines of business, maybe finance or accounting, logistics, HCM, and so on. But it was not agile enough to meet the demands of digital consumer. To enable agility, digitalization, to simplify the business processes across all lines of business, SAP invented SAP S/4HANA. This newly invented SAP S/4HANA has digital core, and that helps customers to digitalize their transformation process, and it also enables real-time analytics-driven business decision making. So with this SAP S/4HANA, because it has digital core, across the organization, we will be able to get end-to-end view, like 360 degrees view on any line of business. The applications have been tremendously simplified. It has a it has a single source of truth, simplified data model, I mean to say. Many applications, around 600 plus applications have been simplified in SAP S/4HANA in all lines of business. And it also brought new user experience for the users. And it is available on on-premise and cloud editions as of now, along with the hybrid scenarios also. The underlying technology for S/4HANA is SAP HANA platform. This is the secret of the entire capabilities of SAP S/4HANA. And S/4HANA inherits all the capabilities that SAP HANA platform has. It is a beautiful engine for SAP S/4HANA, and it can process any type of data, and it can manage any type of data, large data, big data, unorganized data rather even. And it supports, interestingly, analytical and transactional processes. So earlier systems were just transactional processing systems, but today SAP S/4HANA will also be an analytical system. So it's a transactional system and it is also an analytical system. We do not need to maintain a separate analytical system today with the SAP S/4HANA. So we have embedded analytics in SAP S/4HANA. So of course, if any customer wants a strategic analysis, so they can go for an extensive analytical capability with the SAC. But as long as they are okay with the embedded analytics it offers, so they will be able to use this transactional system as analytical system also. So SAP S/4HANA is today, it is a transactional system. It is also an analytical system. In fact, SAP started its simplifications starting from financial accounting during 2014 and 2015. Later, SAP simplified entire core applications. So the first core applications simplified, and the first product was during 2015 November. It was the first product. The product name was SAP S/4HANA. Formerly, it was an add-on in form of Simple Finance on the top of EHP 7, but that was only having financial accounting simplifications. Today, it has all these applications are simplified across all lines of business, and it has a simplified data model, not only in the financial accounting, but also in the logistics. The beauty is. So interestingly, SAP S/4HANA has annual release cycle. That means annually once SAP S/4HANA releases its versions. In case of on-premise, in case of private cloud, it is same release cycle. In case of public cloud, semi-annual release cycle. That means annually once. Each private cloud or on-premise version has mainstream maintenance of 5 years. That means if any customer implemented SAP S/4HANA during 2020 up to 2025, it will be under mainstream maintenance. So after mainstream maintenance, SAP customer, the S/4HANA customer, should either purchase extended maintenance or they have to go for an upgrade to the latest version. So after 5 years, if not, that moves to the customer specific maintenance after 5 years. This is the case in 2022 version. Starting from 2023, the mainstream maintenance enhanced to for 7 years. Up to 2022, the mainstream maintenance was 5 years. Starting from 2023 version, the mainstream maintenance enhanced to 5 years to 7 years, and it is not annual release from 2023. After 2023, the next version would be 2025. That means once in 2 years. So that is what the annual, that is what the release cycle and the maintenance strategy is. You people, different customers are enjoying the advantage of out of SAP S/4HANA. We can do automation. It has simplified business processes. It brought new user experience, and we will be able to avoid reconciliation between or among the components like FIA reconciliation, FICO reconciliation, FIMM reconciliation, and so on. So we will be able to avoid the reconciliation process once we move to S/4HANA because of the simplified data structure, simplified data model, and it has embedded analytics, and planning and reporting are optimized. So we have more capabilities for planning and reporting, and all applications have been simplified. So we can also get different group reporting functionality like business consolidation and so on, like advanced financial cockpit and so on. Once we have the latest versions of SAP S/4HANA, and if they are configured for it. It is just an overview of what SAP S/4HANA capabilities are. Every one of you might have heard Rise with SAP, about Rise with SAP. Rise with SAP is a transformation service. This is the service available for all the customers, irrespective of their start. They may be on ECC, they may be on S/4HANA, and they may be new customers. This transformation service, Rise with SAP transformation service, is available for all customers to move to SAP private cloud or public cloud. So it's transformation service for the private cloud or public cloud. This is available for all types of customers. This transformation service is. So it also, Rise with SAP transformation service also helps in modernizing their cloud infrastructure, standardizing their business processes, and it also helps in digitizing their business processes. So that means it only does not help to the customer to move to cloud. It also helps in modernizing their infrastructure. It also helps in standardizing their business processes. It also helps in digitizing their business processes. This Rise with SAP transformation services. Then you may have a question, who will do this transformation service? How this transformation service will be helpful to the customer? This transformation service will be done by SAP plus SAP partners. These two together do this transformation service. SAP plus SAP partners. So SAP partners means they may be hyperscale partners, service community partners, reseller community partners, SAP other software partners. So SAP plus SAP partners helps the customer in the transformation journey. So who is hyperscaler? Hyperscaler provide the cloud infrastructure. So they provide cloud infrastructure. So they are called as hyperscalers. Service partner community, these are SAP business partners. These guys will provide advisory and implementation services and AMS, application management services. So these service providers will provide application management services and advisory and implementation services. Implementation services also includes system conversion, system migration, selective data transition, all these. So SAP business partners do this type of service. And reseller community, they ensure that Rise with SAP will be available for all the customers. So this is what reseller community do. And the software partners, they help in innovating. They also help in building new IPs, extensions, applications that are related to SAP solutions. So input in one sentence, SAP does not do this transformation service alone. SAP plus SAP partners together do this transformation service and to the different types of customers. That may be an ECC customer or S4HANA customer or a brand new customer. If you see infrastructure providers point of view, the SAP has its own data center. This is called HANA Enterprise Cloud. SAP has its own data center. SAP also has, or SAP partners will also provide infrastructure. SAP partners means hyperscalers. So they may be Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services. These are all hyperscale providers. These hyperscale providers also will provide infrastructure to the customer. Alibaba Cloud is only for China region, not for other regions. So these hyperscale partners are SAP business partners who provides infrastructure to the customers. And SAP also has SAP data center. SAP data center is the only data center in case of public cloud. And for private cloud, we have an option of either SAP data center or hyperscaler data center. That means customer will be able to choose one of the hyperscalers as an infrastructure provider, or private cloud customers will also be able to get into SAP data center as an infrastructure service. So this is also one of the data provider. SAP data center is also one of the SAP infrastructure providers. And we also have customer specific data centers. Customer specific data center means these customer specific data centers are not for everyone. These customer specific data centers are reserved for special cases like customers with regulated industry, like defense, public sector, or some countries may have data residency requirements. So in that case, it is customer specific data center. That means these data centers can also be kept at the customer's place, but it is special cases only, not for everyone. So that means for public sector customers or customers or countries with the data residency requirements, like defense or public sector, these are the guys, they will be able to hold customer specific data center. In all the rest of the cases, they have to place their server at hyperscalers or SAP data center. In case of public cloud, SAP data center is the only data center. In case of private cloud, they will be able to choose among the hyperscaler data center or SAP data center. In case of private cloud, as with SAP private cloud. You may have a question, hey, what are the core services? What are the core services? What are the core components rather for the SAP, Rise with SAP? The core components are choice of deployment, infrastructure provider of service, business process intelligence. Yeah, Rise with SAP will also provide some tools and services for the transformation journey, and it also provide SAP Business Network. These are the SAP Business Network starters and BTP, Business Technology Platform. These are all the core components of Rise with SAP services. This is so you know very well one cloud choice of deployment is whether it is a public cloud or a private cloud. Infrastructure providers, whether it is a hyperscaler data center or SAP data center or customer specific data center. Business process intelligence. These are the tools that helps customers move to the S/4HANA cloud, Rise with SAP cloud. These are the tools. Different tools will have different purposes. In case of conversion, in case of lift and shift, in case of new implementation, depending upon the transition path, experienced consultants will deploy or employ different tools among these tools. So that means in one sentence, these tools will help in the transition process. Transition path may be any, that means sometimes lift and shift, sometimes it is a conversion path, sometimes it is a new implementation, whatsoever it may be. Different tools SAP Rise with SAP provided in order to simplify the journey to the SAP S/4HANA cloud, in order to simplify transition to the cloud. So these are the tools. And what are the other tools that helps the customer is, some of the tools may be optional, some of the tools may be mandatory. These tools like Cloud ALM, Application Lifecycle Management, where you will be able to manage the entire project. So using Application Lifecycle Management and SAP Launchpad for mobile start, readiness assessment, custom code migration, custom code analysis, custom code adaptation, custom code lifecycle management, different tools. And you know very well, these are the learning tools, Learning Hub and Enable Now. These are the learning tools. So these tools, readiness check and custom code migration also will be useful in the transition path. So readiness check and custom code migration will also be helpful to simplify the journey to the cloud along with these two. SAP Cloud ALM is the application lifecycle management tool, and this helps to manage the cloud application. This also helps to manage the project. ALM, Cloud ALM. Normal ALM, on-premise ALM is different from the Cloud ALM. It is a different tool. So SAP Ariba network and other SAP networks and BTP platform. It is a single platform where you will be able to get cloud analytics, integration suite, interface suites, data management, analytics, different things that we will be able to see in the BTP. BTP is the single platform where we have different type of services, extensibility tools, extensibility for the public cloud or private cloud, analytics, integration suites, interface suite. These are the things that you will be able to see the in the BTP platform. So credits means what SAP does is, when we purchase some premium category product, that means Rise with SAP premium package, SAP will give like 1% of the total licensing cost as credit to us, so that that credit will be able to, customer will be able to use that credits for doing any interfaces or extensions or building apps or analytics or any other BTP offerings. So that is called credits actually. So once the credits have been completely consumed by the customer, they will be able to do the top up also in order to get the benefits of cloud business technology platform. So this is what actually the core components of Rise with SAP is. We will see one after the other to how business can be transformed or transitioned to the cloud. We will see one after the other. Basically, earlier we used to have multiple agreements with the SAP customer. Today, only one agreement is enough with the SAP. The other agreement will be with the business partner. That means with SAP, only one contract for software, infrastructure management, and technical managed services. For these three, only one contract is enough with the SAP. That means customer need not necessarily enter into multiple contracts with the SAP to do this transformation service or to do this transition to get the transformation service. Only one contract is enough that covers software, then infrastructure management, and technical managed services. For these three, only one contract with SAP. Then customer has to enter into other contract, one contract, a separate contract for AMS services, application management services, and other contract for advisory and implementation services. That means, for example, if customer is doing implementation, for that implementation task, he has to enter into a contract with the business SAP business partner. If customer is doing system conversion, customer has to enter into a separate contract for that service. If customer is entered into a lift and shift, SAP customer has to enter into a contract with the business partner, SAP business partner only for that. Once that is successfully completed, he will be able to enter into a separate contract either with the same business partner or separate business partner for their AMS services. That means earlier we used to have many contracts, very cumbersome, very complex. So now only one contract with SAP, just one or two contracts with the business partner. This simplified entering into contractual obligations with the SAP and the business partners. And this collaboration will help the customer to do transition or to go for SAP S/4HANA cloud very smoothly. This is what actually Rise with SAP services agreements are, contracts are. Deployment choice point of view. Deployment choice always depending upon the transition path customer chooses. For example, customer has ECC system. He wants to go for system conversion. Then the transition path would be public cloud or on-premise. The ECC customers, when they wanted to move to S/4HANA through system conversion, they will not be able to go for public cloud. Public cloud is only meant for greenfield implementation. Private cloud is for the greenfield implementation as well as the brownfield implementation, for the bluefield implementation, for the selective data transition also. That means the deployment choice is depending upon the transition path the customer chooses. If customer chooses new implementation, then customer have an option of going for public cloud, or customer also having an option of going for private cloud. So if customer chooses only migration, that means system conversion, then they must only go for private cloud. He does not have any option to move to public cloud. And at the same time, for example, those customers already on private cloud, at later stage, they realized public cloud is the better option. They cannot move from private cloud to public cloud. At the same time, they cannot also move from public cloud to the private cloud. That means customer must do a proper exercise in order to identify what would be the best fit for him. That means customer has to understand what are the functionalities it offers, what are the functionalities this offer, what is the release cycle it is, what is the release cycle it is, what is the upgrade method, what is the upgrade method, what is the scope it has, what is the scope it has, and rest of the things. But data model, semantic, user experience, all are same in case of private cloud or in case of public cloud. There is no change in the data model. There is no change in the semantic, or there is no change in the user experience. User experience, pure user experience, or GUI user experience, whatsoever it may be, user experience is same, and data model is also same, but functionality differs, scope differs, and maintenance model differs, degree of flexibility differs. If it is public cloud, customers does not have flexibility, more flexibility. In case of private cloud, customers will enjoy more flexibility, more freedom, as it like a on-premise solution. The flexibility or freedom is similar to the on-premise version in case of private cloud. In case of public cloud, very low amount of flexibility. He will not be able to do major changes to the cloud system in the public cloud. In case of private cloud, they will be able to do the changes as if today they are doing for the private cloud. So similarly, the degree of the framework different, degree of the flexibility different, amount of scope different, process, there may be difference in the business processes between these two, and application management may be different, and end user access also may be different between these two, and innovation cycle is also different. So the more degree of flexibility they have in case of private cloud, and less degree of standardization they have. Here, more degree of standardization, less degree of flexibility in case of public cloud. So, but it is honestly speaking, whether customer has to move to private cloud, has to go for public cloud in case of new implementation, it is definitely a tough decision, and care must be taken by the customer to choose an appropriate deployment option, because at later stage they will not be able to move from private edition to public version, public edition to the private edition. They have to discard that system there itself in order to go for the other deployment option, even in case the first deployment option does not fit for his service, for his business purpose. So this is all about the deployment option. At the same time, whether we have a tool called Digital Discovery Assessment, DDA. Digital Discovery Assessment is the tool. Customers who has ambiguity of moving to public cloud or moving to private cloud, they will be able to use this tool in order to understand what would be the best fit for him. The Digital Discovery Assessment tool, this is the Digital Discovery Assessment tool. This Digital Discovery Assessment tool will be in the hands of the SAP brand guardian or SAP cloud architects. They will be able to help the customer by choosing the functionality like this, known what are the integrations you need, what are the business processes you want, what are the other cloud solutions you want, what are the business processes in the finance, in the other logistics side you want. So these are the questions normally the consultants will ask the customer. Based on the customer reply, these guys will select the options in the Digital Discovery Assessment tool. Then this Digital Discovery Assessment tool will be submitted. Then once you submit this information to SAP, SAP brand guardian will verify the information that you have chosen in the Digital Discovery Assessment, will give you a suggestion saying public cloud is the best fit for you or private cloud is the best fit for you. This is a very beautiful tool, Digital Discovery Assessment. This tool can be used by the customers with the help of qualified S/4HANA public cloud or private cloud certified consultants. So this again, whatever option they choose in this Digital Discovery Assessment, that will be verified by the SAP brand guardian consultant. They help us, or they help to the customer in choosing the correct deployment option that fit for the customer. So this is one of the best tools. As of now, it is available in choosing the correct deployment option for the customer. So this tool is available as of now. For example, what are the, you may ask a question, what are the paths that we have to move to SAP S/4HANA? That may be on-premise, or that may be Rise with SAP private cloud, or that may be public cloud. The first path is the new implementation path. The second path is the system conversion. The third part is the selective data transition. These three options we have. In case of new customer, that means non-SAP customer, obviously, because they do not have SAP, they choose only new implementation path, greenfield only. In case of SAP customer that has SAP R3 system, normally they do not go for conversion. Only ECC customers will only go for system conversion. So if readiness assessment check, if readiness assessment check certifies or states the system is very stable, functional and technically, then they go for conversion. If readiness assessment check speaks the system is functionally and technically not stable, and it would not be better to go for system conversion, then in such a case, they go for new implementation. That means even ECC customers also, that means statistics says 48 to 50% of the ECC customers are moving for system conversion, and 50% of the ECC customers are going for new implementation. That is what as of now the statistics says, 48 to 50%. But it is not 100% interest of the customer. They have to scientifically examine if the system can be converted or if the system can be converted using different tools. We will see what the tools are at later stage. This is step number 1. Step number 2, if organization, if customer himself says, hey, my chart of accounts is not properly defined, my profit center hierarchy is not properly defined, my accounts are not properly defined, my chart of depreciation is not properly defined, my organizational hierarchy, total enterprise hierarchy is not properly defined at the time of implementation, I do not know who has done that implementation, it was badly done, then in such case, customer may themselves come forward to discard the ECC system to go for new implementation. At that time also, though the ECC is the new ECC system and it is fit for conversion, in such case also, they go for new implementation by discarding, decommissioning their present ECC system. This is also one of the parameters. It has its own advantages and disadvantages. In case of new implementation, by leaving ECC system alone, it needs very long efforts, very huge amount of time and money, and it also needs more user interaction in order to understand the business process, and we need to do legacy data transfer, and we also lose the historical data, and we also lose the custom code that we have in the ECC system, and we also need to provide more training to the users, and it takes obviously more period than the system conversion. System conversion may hardly take 4-5 months, but implementation definitely may take 5 or 6 months based on the size of the implementation, size of the different modules they need, and different organizational structure. Vast amount of organizational structure may also take longer than 6 to 7 months of time. So of course, the advantage it has, they will be able to redesign their entire organizational structure as they need, and they will be able to redesign their chart of accounts, chart of depreciation, cost center hierarchies, profit center hierarchies, plans, and everything, if that is a new implementation process. In case of new implementation, then the question arises whether it is a public cloud or a private cloud. Then if they wanted to go for standardized business processes, they go for public cloud. We do not need standardized business process. We need everything customized, and we need more customization capability, more degree of freedom, more freedom we need for the extensibility, interfaces, and so on. Then they go for private cloud option. So then they go for private cloud or public cloud based on their requirement. So system conversion, already system conversion based on the system fitness. If system does not fit for conversion, then they go for new implementation based on the examination that we do. That means experienced S/4HANA architects they do. If system fits for SAP system conversion, then normally they go for system conversion. It is called the brownfield approach. This is so. If customer chooses the path brownfield approach, that means system conversion, they must only go for RISE with SAP private cloud or on-premise. They cannot go for public cloud. Public cloud is not the option for the for the system conversion. So for system conversions only on-premise or RISE with SAP private cloud. Usually, as SAP is promoting RISE with SAP private cloud, people are moving for RISE with SAP private cloud rather than the on-premise solution. So it has its own advantages. We do not need to lose custom data like custom code. We do not need to spend time on requirement gathering, lesser cost. We do not we do not need to kill users' time to get the information, and we do not need to do the requirement gathering, and we do not need to lose the existing standardized business processes. We just only need to do delta customizing. Once the system is converted, we just need to do delta customizing. So the only factor is readiness assessment or something must be examined through these tools. It must be examined. System must meet all the technical and functional requirements. Then only they will be able to go for system conversion. These are the points. We will leave it aside. Select to data transition for time being. So the common transition paths are: in case customer has R3 system or third party system, they go for new implementation. In case customer has SAP ECC, they may go for new implementation or system conversion to the cloud. In case if they want S/4HANA, if they have S/4HANA on-premise, they may move to private cloud version through lift and shift. And if customer has ECC on HANA, suite on HANA, they will move to cloud, private cloud through system conversion to the private cloud. So this is very common transition paths as of now. Very uncommon transition paths. SAP R3 guys, R4.7, 4.6C. If someone has these older systems, they do not going for again R3 to ECC, ECC to again HANA database, again to S/4HANA through system conversion. It is usually a long path, double cost, double effort, double downtime, and very cumbersome and complex. So for that instance, normally they do not go for this type of guys. They do not normally go for system conversion approach. Usually they go for greenfield implementation only. So because their systems were very older, their system does not support the one-step conversion path. So for that instance, they normally go for greenfield only. Okay, there may be an extraordinary situation, though they are on R3 or some other lower version, they want to retain their business processes because it is stable or something, so or some other reason they may prefer this, but it is very uncommon, very less common transition path. Okay. So you may ask me a question, hey, do we have any flavors, edition packages in case of private cloud? There are two flavors it is available. There are two packages. One is base package and other one is premium package. Base package, no rise and date elements. You have seen core components of rise in the previous slide. That means customers who wants to go to the private cloud through Rise with SAP base package, they will not be able to do, or they will not be able to get BTP or any other core components of Rise with SAP. And moreover, private cloud customers normally will be able to choose hyperscalers, but in case of base customer, they will not be able to choose the hyperscaler. They need to choose only SAP data center only, heck only, not any other hyperscaler. But premium customers, that means large customers, premium customers will have rise and date elements. They will have the benefits of rise and date element. They can have the benefits of business technology platform. They will get CPEA credit. CPEA means Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement Credit. These Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement credits, like I'm just saying, 1% of invoice value or 1% of contract value or something, SAP will give you, so that you will be able to use on BTP build or Signavio or any other as a part of the credit. Once you consume these CPA credits, Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement credits, whatever you got in form of 1% of contract value or so, you customers will be able to top up so that they will be able to consume the BTP benefits, BTP functionalities, BTP benefits. So on the top of CPA credits. So this BTP Signavio and BTP builds process insights is one of the best discovery activity, so that customers will be able to drill down in order to understand what are the negative points in their business processes using process insight, discovery, transformation, summary. This is, and process manager helps to create process flows. It is like a business process modeling tool, BPML tool type it is. So that business process flows, we will define process flows. We will be able to define process flows using business process manager. So similarly, process automation from the BTP build, it helps for the automation and workflow process. And BTP build apps, it is a professional application to develop solution designs. It is, and with less code or with low code or no code. This is so build work zone is like a learning room. It is a learning room. Work zone is a learning room. At the same time, it also helps in mobile start applications. Mobile start application apps will be built only using build work zone only. This is, so these are the things actually premium customers will get, but base customers do not get anything. Base customers, that means small customers, they do not need to, if they feel that our digital discovery assessment says, or SAP brand guardian says, or technical architect says, you do not necessarily go to premium, and for time being you go for base, then you can shift from base to premium. In such a case, normally people opt base, and if they identify, hey, it would have been better if it is premium, so that we would have been get the benefits of BTP and so on, then they will be able to switch over their contract from SAP with the SAP from base to premium. This is how either they can start in the beginning itself they can get premium, or in the beginning they may be on base, Based on the requirement, they can move to premium also. So it is the contract price is obviously lesser. It is somewhat premium price that you know very well, based on the functionality that we derive out of the packages. And digital discovery assessment, it is a very important tool. It provides very concrete picture to the customer so that they will be able to move to the public cloud or transit to the public cloud or private cloud. This is the tool, but this tool is not available for everyone. This is the tool available only for the qualified partners who has cell authorization. And at the same time, are SAP guys. This is. So in case of new implementation, what is the process? In case of new implementation, the simple SAP provisions an instance in the cloud for the software installation. SAP do that. Then we activate SAP best practices in the tenant that SAP provided us. There are two best practices that we have. One is best practices full. The other one is enterprise management layer. The enterprise management layer is the subset of best practices, full best practices. That means you will be able to activate only the necessary one. If you wanted to activate all the best practices for your country, you will be able to do. Or if you feel that I will be able to do enterprise management layer only, then you will be able to do enterprise management layer only, so that you do not need to install every best practices unnecessarily. So the enterprise management layer is the subset of best practices. So that means customers have an option of either installing either full or enterprise management layer, as the case may be. And qualified package solutions. What is this qualified package solutions? There are some qualified packaged solutions that are being sold by the business partners, SAP business partners, like Easy Commerce, Easy Life Sciences, Easy Pharma, Easy Distribution. These are just, I am saying, these are the things that some of the companies will pre-configured solutions. These are all pre-configured solutions, pre-configured and certified solutions. Once you purchase pre-configured certified solution, you will be able to install in the in your tenant. We do not need to install this. We will be able to install pre-configured solution. So it is a tested solution. It is a certified solution. And based on the industry, there are different pre-configured solutions are available from the different business partners. You will be able to get them and install them so that your system would be ready for the testing and like plug and play. It is for the discussion with the customer. Then in case of best practices or enterprise layer, you need to do the additional configuration on the top of it, like manual rework or manual activities like defining number ranges or defining fiscal year variant, or creating some variants and assigning. These are the things that you have to do, like on the top of the best practices wherever needed. Then test it on the sandbox system. If that's okay, then start the initial data load. So this is as simple as this. So we do not need to reinvent the wheel, because SAP offered best practices. SAP also support the best practices process that may be in form of full or in form of enterprise management layer. Only delta configuration after fit to standard workshops, only delta configuration is to be made. We do not need to prepare starting from defined company code or defined company. So you will be able to do only delta configuration on the top of the standard configuration that is being offered by the SAP based on the customer requirement. Because you conduct fit to standard workshop, during the fit to standard workshop with the best practices content, SAP customers will always ask or may not ask. If the O2C cycle or P2P cycle or R2R cycle or P2 plan to produce cycle is okay for them, the existing standard cycle, they may not ask anything. They may be happy. Then you will be able to do only just manual rework manual activity without requiring to do any delta configuration, and then we start the initial upload. The less customization, the more advantage. The more customization, the less flexibility that one has. That means that has the less customization, then the upgrade activity will be very easy, and you have your less maintenance cost also. The more customization you have, if you disturb more standardization, then obviously the degree of freedom is less when you do the upgrades. So obviously during upgrade, the customization, whatever you have done, will be lost. That means will be lost means it does not lose. Customer does not lose, but you have to retest it. Customers have to retest it in order to fit them in the upgraded version. So for that instant, less customization, more friendly it is, more simplified processes it is in case of private cloud. So this is what the private cloud implementation process is. Okay, so normally people ask me the landscape, system landscape in case of private cloud. Hey, what would be the system landscape? How it is? Usually they ask. Normally, in case of public cloud, in case of on-premise solution, similar to on-premise solution, you also have a sandbox. Then you also have a three-system landscape. You also have a three-system landscape. Sandbox can be entitled from the cloud appliance library. You can go to cloud appliance library, and you will be able to get the sandbox server in two flavors. One is full appliance. Other one is enterprise management layer appliance. The enterprise layer management layer cloud appliance in form of sandbox, it is available in the cloud appliance library. With your user ID, you can go with your S user ID. You will be able to get the trial system free of cost. But the only thing is, for first 30 days, it may be free, or sometimes after 30 days, SAP may charge something. It is so. So, but SAP will give you free of cost sandbox system. The problem is these guys host Azure or Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services. These hyperscalers will charge some cost per month, maybe 150 USD or so. It is for 1 month. It is for the in case of AWS. Recently, I have verified for one of our customers, it may be around 220, 230 USD in case of Google Cloud. But SAP does not charge anything for first 30 days. Only these guys will charge hyperscalers because they provide infrastructure. So that is the reason they charge something for the sandbox. So what you will be able to do the sandbox, you will be able to explore. That means your consultants will be able to explore by taking the sandbox, what it consisting with, S/4HANA consisting with, and they will be able to verify the extensibilities, interfaces, and they can also conduct fit to standard workshops because it is fully activated. It is fully activated. It is a ready to use system. It is, but it is a sandbox system. It is a fully activated, fully configured system. It is. So for that instance, we will be able to do demos. We will be able to conduct fit to standard. We will be able to, consultants will be able to explore more. Consultants will be able to learn the things, and the consultants will be able to document the things based on the customer need, and will also try for the different extensibilities in the sandbox system. This is free of cost that is being offered by SAP for first 30 days. Probably SAP may charge something little, very smaller rather, even after 30 days. But I know these guys, hyperscalers, will definitely charge because they provide infrastructure. Now, so for that instance, software may be free, but they provide infrastructure. Something maybe like 150 USD or something they charge for the sandbox. This is not related to our cloud landscape. If at all, if you feel that you no longer needed this, you will be able to discard this sandbox system. The original landscape is the original landscape. Then you may ask me one question, hey, what is this SAP Cloud Identity Services? Remember, sir, everything is connected through SAP Cloud Identity Services only. Whatever system you have in the cloud, your user ID must be defined here. It is authentication services, it is a provision services. That means this cloud identity services has two tenants. One is cloud identity services, identity provision services, IPS, and other one is IAS, that is identity authentication services. So identity authentication services will allow the user to log into development system, quality system, and the production system. Without creating user here, even if you create user here, they will not be able to allow. So that is the reason. This is the secret of the security. So cloud identity services should allow the user to enter into the cloud and enter into the development system or quality system, the production system. Normally, it is the same landscape as if like a private cloud. We have a development system. You may have one or more clients. One is customizing client, other one is development client, and the quality system and production system. Generally, quality production system has only one client. It is I haven't seen having multiple clients in different situations. It may be in the production system and the quality system and development system. You have one or more clients based on the client need. One may be customization, other one is test, other one is development client, as the case may be. And you will be able to get the different tenants in the development system. It is the private cloud landscape, and as long as you wish, you can hold the sandbox system. If you feel that you are okay, you can discard the sandbox without paying to the Amazon guys or Google guys. And as far as release strategy is concerned, S4HANA Private Cloud, S4HANA On-Premise has the same release cycle, annual release cycle. Maintenance cycle, maintenance strategy, same. 5 years maintenance strategy. That means 2022 version, if you are in 2027, you have to upgrade. Mandatorily, you have to upgrade. Mandatory it is. That means, what does it mean? Mandatory means if you do not upgrade up on 2027, that means after 5 years, your system will automatically move into customer specific maintenance. If you do not upgrade for a technical reason, you can purchase extended maintenance. That is what the maintenance, mainstream maintenance it is. So, but starting from 2023, the mainstream maintenance is 7 years, and it's not annual release cycle. It is once in 2 years. That is what the release strategy for the on-premise and private cloud customers. In case, for example, customers wants to move to S4HANA Private Cloud through conversion path. Can they move directly? Actually, they will not be able to normally take the decision whether conversion would be the best fit for them or not. They have to employ or they have to run certain tools. So one of the tools is readiness check. The business scenario recommendation is another tool. This business scenario recommendation is no longer available now. The business scenario recommendation is today transformed as business process discovery transformation summary. Business process discovery transformation. So it was previous slide. So today it is called business process discovery. So, and we also have other tool like transformation navigator. We do not need to employ all the tools. Based on the customer requirement, an experienced architect will be able to employ the correct tool and take the decision whether system can be converted or system cannot be converted. So it is the main important tool is the readiness assessment tool. We also have other tool called Fiori App Recommendation Tool, called FAR. if you employ this tool, Fiori app recommendation, you will be able to get what are the Fiori apps that are relevant for you. In the Fiori app library, you can see there are more than 13,000 Fiori apps. There may be transactional apps, that may be, some may be analytical apps, some may be fact sheet apps. These are the apps, around 13,000, 14,000 apps. But all apps are not suitable for you, or apps are not needed for you. But how many apps are needed? If you install this and if you run this report, Fiori app recommendation, based on your transactional data in your ECC system gives you a report. Hey, in accounts receivable, these are the reports. In materials management, these are the reports. In sales and distribution, these are the apps. In accounts payable, these are the apps. Out of this, these are the transactional apps that helps to post transactions. These are the analytical apps that helps for analytical process. So that is how system will be able to show us the apps that are relevant for the customer by employing Fiori app recommendations. This is so different tools we adopt in order to understand different things. One of the most important is Fiori app recommendation is one of the important tools. Readiness check is one of the important tools. What does readiness check do? And you may ask me a question, hey, what happens? Do you have a scenario if I do not execute a readiness assessment? What happens? So if you do not, it is not, even SAP does not say it is mandatory. You are correct. Yeah, it is an optional tool, but it helps in identifying showstoppers during your conversion process. For example, you have an incompatible add-on, you have a business function, you have an incompatible industry solution. What happens? Incompatible. What happens? Because it does not have any compatibility to S/4HANA, it stops your conversion path. Then what you have to do? If add-on is SAP add-on, you will contact SAP and ask SAP guys, hey SAP, we are doing SAP S/4HANA conversion, and we identified during maintenance planner run, this is an incompatible add-on. What you want us to do? They ask only one question: did you run readiness assessment check? Though SAP says it is optional, but why SAP asks this question? The reason is readiness assessment will help to understand the showstoppers. It stops your conversion activity till you get answer. If that is an SAP add-on, you will ask SAP. If that is a third-party add-on, you have to contact third party. Like for example, you have a pay metrics. It is an add-on. For example, you speak with those guys. They say yes, it is for our add-on. We have a compatibility, but what you have to do is you have to do this pre-project before you start the system conversion. Then what do? Your priority change from the conversion project to the pre-project that is suitable to in order to fit for the pay metrics add-on or some other add-on. By that way, you will be able to stop the showstoppers. You will be able to identify the showstoppers and identify what are the incompatible things in your system, and do that exercise first, then start the conversion activity. So that is how the objective of this is to identify the items that could impact majorly your conversion path. If you do not do this, again, your plan will be disturbed, your activity will be disturbed. So for that instant, it will help in identifying business functions. It also helps in identifying Fiori apps. It also helps in HANA sizing. And it also helps in what are the changes we need to do in the BW extractors once the system is converted. So rest of the things, it helps in many areas. Most important point is today readiness assessment check is most important. The reason is it also identifies financial data quality. What it is? For example, sometimes your financial data functionally it may appear it is good. That means FI tally with this asset accounting, FI tally with the CO, FI data tally with the data. Functionally it is good once you have done the reconciliation, but technically it may have some flaw. That means you may have a line item, you may not have a header. You may have a header, you may not have a line item. You may have header and line item, but you may not have cost center, profit center, plans, business area, segment, and so on in the line items because of technical problems. So for that instance, if you have such inconsistent transactional data, converting your system with the inconsistent transactional data to the private cloud will be very harmful for your production system. Once you move to the private cloud or once you move to the on-premise solution with the inconsistent data of the SAP S/4HANA, you will no longer repair. You will not be able to repair. The reason is data model changed from the SEC to S/4HANA. Earlier data model was BSIS, BSIK, BSID, BSAD, BSEC, BKPF. Now today AC DOCA. So SAP says now we will not be able to repair and you have to live with it. That's all. That means if you do not run, or if any inexperienced consultant do this activity without caring the results of the readiness assessment, these are the problems. There may be many other problems. One system is converted. It is. So for that instance, this readiness assessment is most important tool in order to identify if system is fit technically and functionally to convert their ECC system either to the S/4HANA. The path may be public, the path may be on-premise or private cloud. That is. And custom code point of view, you know very well, many ECC customers prefer to move to S/4HANA through conversion path is to safeguard their custom code. They love their custom code. The reason is it is working for them. Many of the business processes may be on the custom code. That is the reason rebuilding, redesigning may be very costly and testing may take longer time. They do not want to lose the custom code. If you ask I have seen many customers, what is the motivating factor for them is, the motivating factor is to move through conversion path to the private cloud or on-premise is because of their lovely custom code. Most of the important functionalities are they live with the custom code because it is mandatory for them, because regular business processes may not fit their industry or may not fit their business process or may not fit their firm. So for that instant, they live with the custom code, they run with the custom code just because of that. But if this custom code analysis is most important, sir. Before you do the migration, before you do the system conversion, what we need to do is we need to analyze the custom code. Step number 1. Step number 2, we need to identify unused custom code. Step number 3, unused custom code must be decommissioned. Step number 4, try to go back to the standard business processes by discarding the custom code, even though the custom code is in use. But think if standard business process after going to S/4HANA will replace the custom code or not. That means back to standard wherever possible. 5th, adjust the custom code or redesign the custom code or re-platform the custom code. Re-platforming. What is re-platforming? Developing a custom code in the BTP, not in the S/4HANA system. That is called decoupling the custom code. So that is called re-platform. This entire approach is to be done very properly in the beginning phase. This entire approach is called triple R. I always call triple R, RRR. It is like custom code remediation, custom code retirement, and a custom code rethink. Rethink means analyze and wherever possible, optimize the custom code based on the S4HANA code, CDS views, and other things. So remediation, custom code retirement, unused custom code discard in the old system itself. Do not move. So that what happens is, if you retire custom code in the old system without moving to S4HANA, then step number one, it consumes lesser space in the memory. Second, you do not need to optimize unused custom code. Only you have to optimize used custom code only. For instance, normally we have different tools like usage and procedure logon. UPL is the one of the tools, and we also have in the solution manager a cockpit called decommissioning cockpit in the solution manager. So this decommissioning cockpit normally identify the unused custom code, so that if you identify unused custom code, or you can identify used custom code using UPL, usage and procedure logon, using UPL. In the source system, if you do this activity in the source system, that would be better. Or if you have already crossed the preparation activity, you started implementing SVM, now some is running, or some already ran, you are on S4HANA, then you will be able to use the custom code migration app. This custom code migration app will also be useful in deleting unused custom code. This custom code migration app also. So by that way, care must be taken. Sufficient analysis must be taken. Sufficient tools must be employed in order to do custom code management. This is entire process is called custom code management, or these tools are called custom code management enablement tools. These tools, this entire analysis must be done properly, so that your custom code can be protected, and this your custom code can also, the unused custom code can also be retained without requiring to move to S4HANA in this process. Sometimes your customers may ask different questions, or different customers may ask different questions. Hey, what is the advantage when I move to S4HANA? What are the new functionalities I get if I move to S4HANA? How does it support my business processes? Where can I automate? These are very frequent questions for me whenever I visit my customers. These are, Dr. Ravi, you tell me what are the benefits in each area of my business. Some people may ask, hey, how S4HANA is different from ECC? You should be able to, that means we should be able to give a concrete answer for them. And they also, some may ask, hey, how can I streamline my business, or where can I automate my business processes? The answer is process discover transformation summary. Process discovery transformation summary. You execute this tool. This tool will give two outputs. One is a PDF document and a discovery solution. Discovery solution is spotlight document, previously known as, now currently it is, but it is now it is also old screen. It is previously spotlight. It is a discovery solution. This is discovery solution is yes, user ID and password must be there. We will drill down in the discovery online activity. PDF is executive summary. So that that helps in building a business case. It answers all the questions. It answers where I can automate, how it is different, what are the benefits. These are the things. This process discovery summary, it offers. They give PDF form. It may be around 200 and 240, 250 pages document. It has 6 lines of business, and it will show you where you can be able to improve, where you will be able to automate, where you will be able to use your apps, how you are using your system, how your competitors are using your system, where you how much percentage of system you are using. These are the things actually it gives. For example, it gives a Dr. Ravi, you are using only 5% of accounts receivables, whereas your competitor is using 55% of accounts receivables in the system. So this is how it will be able to give us where you will be able to automate. These are the things. This process discovery summary that will be just this will be helpful in building a business case. What is business case, sir? Business case is a commercial. Business case always show commercial benefit. What CFO needs, CFO always needs, hey, what do I get? This is the only question CFO asks. If you will be able to substantiate with correct answer, then CFO will provision further this activity. If not, he will not be able to, because you always say because before 2027 we have to move. This does not need, but that may be needed only for the IT head. But CFO does not feel happy if you say because of 2027 I am moving now. No, then CFO says, then we will see in 2026 early of 2027 if that is mandatory. So CFO or top management will always look for commercial benefit, rather tangible benefit, not intangible things. So this helps the customer in order to show the commercial benefit out of the project, the value out of the project. So what do? We install some SAP nodes. We go SAP site. Then we execute report. We send report to SAP. SAP will give us the report within 4 or 5 working days. In case, for example, digital discovery assessment says, you are fit for public cloud. Digital discovery, because we have executed the digital discovery assessments, then as per digital discovery assessment, you wanted to go for public cloud. For example, you may want to understand what would be the landscape for the public cloud. You have seen landscape for private cloud. Now you wanted to see what would be the public cloud landscape. See, sir, this is the 3-system landscape, even public cloud. Earlier, 2208 was the up to earlier it was 2-system landscape. Now it is 3-system landscape. Earlier there was no development system, only quality and the production, test and the production. Today we have included the SAP included development also. So it is a 3-system landscape, 3SL. It is called, they call as 3SL, 3-system landscape. That means development system, test system, production system. It is a 3-system landscape. Remember, sir, this is in the private public cloud. But what about this? What about this? And what about this? It is central business configuration. This central business tool, it is a tool. See here, this central business configuration is a separate system that lives in BTP, business technology platform. This is where you get provisioned of the starter system and the development system. See, central business configuration does not have any connection to these two. That means the provisionment of starter system and development system will happen through central business configuration. This central business configuration and this landscape, see here, CBC and the entire landscape is connected through or integrated through SAP Cloud Identity Services. This SAP Cloud Identity Services has two tenants. One is Identity Authentication Service, Identity Provision Service, IAS, IPS. Every system in the cloud is connected through identity services only. That means if your user ID is not here, you will not be able to enter. That means When users log into S4HANA public cloud or the central business configuration, their user credentials, login ID, user credentials, login credentials will be authenticated by these cloud identity services. That means here, where we set up authentications, user management, password, a single step password or double step password, two-step password, password authentication factors, like OTP, non-OTP password. These are the things that we also establish in the cloud identity services only. This is. Then how central business configuration helps? I already told you CBC, Central Business Configuration, lives in BTP, Business Technology Platform. That means BTP is mandatory for public cloud, you remember. Then second important point is, this CBC, Central Business Configuration, will be helpful to provision starter system and development system. That means we cannot provision, without this, we will not be able to get development system, starter systems. Third, C tool, this is the configuration tool. The symbol itself is saying it is a configuration tool. What configuration? All the basic activation, configuration, best practices activation will be done in the central business configuration, will be moved to the development system, then to the test system, to the production system. That is how it happens. We do not do anything in the development system except it's a manual rework. It is a manual task, except this, but everything will be done in the center. That means activating business process, activating business best practices content will be done in the central business configuration. So that means the SAP business central business configuration is used to activate predefined content. We do configuration, we do system provisionment using central business configuration. This is. So again, for example, earlier, before 2021, January 2021, CBC was not there, but public cloud was there. At that time, before January 2021, when there was no CBC, Central Business Configuration, we used to have two apps: manage your solutions, configure your solutions. These two apps, that these two apps used to help the customer in order to do the configuration and customization to the public cloud. So customers who implemented earlier to 2021 January, they will continue to use those two apps. SAP will convert their system to CBC over a period of time at later stage. Until then, these apps will be used and they will continue to use these apps, and SAP does not remove from the landscape, from the launchpad rather. So you may ask a question, in case of I upgrade the system, public cloud system, every 6 months we upgrade, then what happens to central business configuration? You do not need to upgrade. It is a separate product. It is a separate roadmap. It is a separate release strategy. It is a separate maintenance strategy. So SAP will take care of this. So you do not need to upgrade parallelly along with the system, along with the system landscape. So central business configuration has its own roadmap. So nothing to worry on it. So this is the production. It is a configuration system. It is authorization. We allow authorizations here. It is a data that we have in the production system. But how about the starter system? How about the starter system? See here. In the central business configuration, your project manager will create two projects. One is evaluation project. Other one is implementation project. In the evaluation project, this evaluation project will be connected to starter system. It is like a sandbox only, but I cannot technically tell it is a sandbox because of the terminology. It is a starter system. It is called evaluation system. It is a starter system, but you can understand this is a sandbox system, but I will call it as a starter system because of the mandatory terminology. It is. So it is a starter system. That means why evaluation project? By this time you might have understood why an evaluation project is. This project, because you will be able to understand what are the functionalities it has, and you will be able to demonstrate to client what are the business processes it has. And you can also do the fit to standard workshops using starter system. And you can also get the even consultants also will start exploring using the starter system, and they will be able to demonstrate the business process using starter system. It is because it is a fully configured system, and it has users, it has data, it has configuration, it has master data, everything. And usually consultants working on S/4HANA public cloud, they use this system to give demos and to conduct fit to standard workshops to make the users understand business processes perfectly. You can also create user ID for your business user, so that they also themselves will work on their business process. So you can also create user ID for them with the necessary rules. They also they themselves will be doing the activity, will verify and come back to you. Hey, Dr. Ravi, I need here some change. I need some delta configuration. I need some workflow. I need some process flow. I need some change. They may suggest us by executing the transaction by themselves, because you will be able to create in the sandbox system. It is a starter system, their user ID. You can see usually this starter system has normally two clients. One is development client and the other one is the customization client. Development client helps for the developers. It has extensibility tools, and above developers will be able to get into this development client, and functional consultant will be able to do the customization in the customization tenant. In the same way, once the starter system is fully explored, consultants are free now. Consultants and users understood what they want and what customer needs. Then your project manager will create another real implementation project, and they have two workspaces in the CBC. One workspace for the development activity, other workspace for the customization activity. You may ask me a question, hey, Dr. Ravi, I have some developments done here, and do I need to redo the same developments in the real development system? You can also import them using ABAP-JIT. ABAP-JIT is the platform where you will be able to do one ABAP system to the other ABAP system. So you will be able to move the request from one ABAP system to the other ABAP system. For example, you may ask me a question, hey, developer has done some enhancement. How would I access those development from customizing tenant 100? So if authorizations permits, then you will be able to use the same developments from customization tenant and bring those things from the development tenant to the customization tenant. So by that way, you will have a development tenant. Once the development activity is fully completed, you can request SAP to provide a test system. Usually SAP will give you test system, blank test system, initial test system. Then you have to move configuration from the CBC to test system. Then additional extensions that we made in form of key user extensions or developer extensions to the test system. So once test system is ready, you will be able to test. You will be able to ask your business user to test. If they are okay, then move the request to the test system to the production system. So the production system, once the production system is given to you, or rather provisioned, then your within 30 days from the date SAP send you an email that your production system is provisioned, the starter system will be decommissioned automatically. You will no longer see the starter system. From the day, within 30 days, only 30 days only it will allow from the day you get the email about the provisionment of the production system. So after that, your starter system will be decommissioned, and you have three system landscape: development system, test system, and the production system. It is in the same way. You have base package and premium package. Some of the additional functionalities that you have in the base package and previous package in the finance and the BTP build, and base package is the base package with limited functionality in the even in the public cloud. So for cloud system maintenance is 6 months annual release. It's not annual release cycle. It is a semi-annual release cycle. SAP will take care of the technical upgrade, and the customer should take care of the functional side testing and all. So this is how, with this, I conclude, stop here. So if at all, if you have any questions now, please feel free to ask me.
Hi, Dr. Ravi Surya. I think it was an amazing session. I can see one question from an anonymous attendee asking, Rise with SAP strategy, whether it is only applicable for private or public cloud migration, or whether it is not applicable for on-prem scenario.
What it is, sir? Please repeat once again.
Rise with SAP strategy, whether it is only applicable for private or public cloud migration, whether it is not applicable for on-prem scenario.
Correct. That's correct. That's correct. This is cloud transformation service. That's correct.
Okay. I think it is an amazing session with people having next to any doubts. I've never seen people not with doubts. That means it was an amazing session. I can see one more chat. Zahid Hussain is asking, what is migration server in SAP S4 HANA conversion in SAP on RISE?
Migration server, SAP provisions this server in order to place our server to the SAP cloud.
Okay. Dr. Ravi Surya, I think it was an amazing session. I see that a lot of participants joined us and we still have questions. Mohammed is asking, what is the difference between HEC and Rise with SAP?
HEC is it is SAP data center. So HEC is a part of the Rise with SAP services.
Okay. Great. People are thanking you already. Everyone who liked the session, please do leave a review on Google. And from the email ID which you are leaving the review on Google, email on my email ID, ashutosh@edforce.com. From the same email ID, do follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, share screenshots. We have amazing vouchers for you. Apart from it, Dr. Surya, it was Dr. Ravi Surya. It was an amazing session. Thanks a lot. I can see people applauding and spreading so much love. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for everyone. Wish you good luck. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For any upskilling requirement with Dr. Ravi Surya, please let me know. We will organize that for you and your organization.
Sure. Bye-bye.